This is how we took over 100,000 people from $100 in their sports betting bankroll to over $100,000 using the PlayerProps.ai app and strict bankroll management. Now, if you don't believe me, let's just take a look back to one of the many steps along the way to this great financial success story. Check it out. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is game day, baby. I know we had some college football games for week 0 on Saturday, but this is technically the first. It's week 1. Week 0 is a whole weird thing. Like, I don't even know why they call it week 0, just because there's not every team plays on the opening weekend. But this is the start of week 1, where all teams are playing, and not just all teams, but the best team in college football, the UCF Knights. So, if you guys have been living under a rock for the last week or two, we have college football props live on the PlayerProps.ai app, which you already know this because you already have it downloaded, right? Right? Download the app if you haven't yet. It's free to download. We have college football added, and for the predictor and the optimizer, and then of course NFL is a week from today. A week from today is the first NFL game, so we're gonna have NFL ready on the app and the site by then as well. Make sure you're doing the bare minimum. You have the app downloaded, you have an account, you have the you subscribe to the YouTube channel, also free, and you're in the you're in the PlayerProps.ai Discord, and you have your Discord and your PlayerProps.ai app account synced together, and that's what opens up the Discord channels. So if you haven't synced, that's why you're not saying, hey, where are these channels at? Yeah, follow the instructions. It's simple. But I'm super excited for today. So I'm recording this roughly about 10 a.m., and we're going to be heading to the UCF tailgate for the first game of the season at about 3:30. All right. I think we don't need any more housekeeping things. We can just get to it and see if we can find any sexiness for college football. There's only a handful of games today, but Saturday, of course, is going to be the big day. So definitely looking forward to that as well. But out of the handful of games we do have today that we've created AI models for, player props for, and have the historical data for, whatnot, let's see if we can find anything sexy for this show. Speaking of show, yesterday's show was extremely frustrating for multiple reasons. We picked 3 picks. One of them was a batter that did not start in the lineup, so we technically had 2 picks, and they were both over 6.5 strikeout lines for very popular heavy strikeout pitchers. Good old Paul of the Pittsburgh Pirates was at 6, and he was at 82 pitches, and they had a 7 to 8 run lead. They take out Paul at 82 pitches for whatever reason, like a bunch of dum-dums, and they are the first team, and then, after they take him out, they are the first team in MLB history to lose a 7-run lead going into the 7th. I don't know. They deserve to lose. They took out Paul too early. So we got hooked. He needed 7. He only got 6 because they took him out early. And the good old Chris, they actually did pull him over 100 pitches. He was doing very, very well the entire game, gave up a few hits to turn it into 1 run, and they pulled him at 6. So we had the double hook job, which was extremely, extremely frustrating. But, alas, let's get into some college football here. And if we don't find anything sexy, we'll just go straight to baseball. We don't force plays. The key, that's one of the million things that we teach all of the tens of thousands of our users, are strategy things beyond just research. One of them is just don't force things. If it's not something that works out, you don't have to bet every day. You don't have to. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying, make sure you're betting your money every single day. That's not a thing. Don't bet every day if you don't find things that are worth you betting on. Don't just bet something to bet something. So, that being said, we have receiving yards toggled here. So the thing to pay attention to, this is very similar with NBA and WNBA points. So you're like, oh man, this is a 33% difference. This is awesome. But then again, the line's so low that even if the prediction is not even 5.0 higher than the line, this is the AI prediction here, sure, it's going to be 33% difference, but there's not a lot of stuff there. Now that this is 26 and this line is up to 55.5, our AI is actually, was it 14.29 higher. So I actually like this more than this, even though it has the same implied chance, and the difference is there as well. I like that. Okay. Let's see. So Daniel Jackson, Minnesota. I think this was the bowl game, so I guess I can only assume that he didn't play in the bowl game here. for whatever reason. So I don't necessarily worry about that. But Ohio State, I'm sure, destroyed them. He doesn't have any history against North Carolina, but I mean he's getting passes, and I'm gonna trust the AI knows what they're talking about. When it's super early, when you don't have a lot of pass data, this is the same thing we did with the MLB when it first started. Don't rely too heavily on the pass data, but I do really like the fact that he had 3 straight 100+ receiving games last season. That's nice. But yeah, rely more on the AI and less on the past data because, I mean, he could have a different quarterback this season. He could have different receivers that have been transfer portal to his team, all these other things. You can still pay attention to it. I mean, the fact that he had 3 straight 100-yard receiving games is nice. But yeah, we're gonna stay with Daniel Jackson here. No, Hampton is one of the best running backs in the country. I want to look at his rushing yards. So his rushing yards his line is 95.5, and the AI is only saying he's going to get 97, so like not even 2.0 higher. So that's not enough juice for the squeeze there. Now Minnesota running back is a lot higher. This can't be right. This man, sorry, I don't pay attention to every single. There's so many colleges and athletes and stuff, right? That I don't pay too much attention to. Like, it's impossible to pay. I mean, there's some people out there that do this, but it's almost impossible to know every detail about every player for every team when there's like 200 teams out there. But if I'm reading this correctly, this man had 193 rushing yards, 138, 198, and then 208 in the bowl game. This can't be right. If this is right, we're definitely targeting his over 72.5. Easily. I mean, the AI also says 124.4, but I'm just going to double check this real quick. I'm going to pull him up. Because, like, this has to be... This is almost it's almost too good to be true, so I need to verify the sources here real quick. We got Darius Taylor. He's a 6-foot running back. He's 215 pounds. He's a sophomore, so last year he was a freshman when we did all that nonsense. Game log. Yeah, holy crap! This is legit. I was like, are we pulling in the wrong data? This man had 208 rushing yards, 5.9 yards per carry against Bowling Green in the Quick Lane Bowl game, which is the one we see right there. And then yeah, against is it Northern University? It was an overtime game, had 198, 138. This man's getting the rock 30 plus times a game. Now I have to verify that he's got a 72.5 line, because this is a lockety lock. All right, give me a second here. I mean, I could put it up on my computer, but I want to keep the screen on this, so that's why I'm pulling it up on my phone. All right, so what we got here? We got Minnesota. Rushing props. Bro, what? This man's line is 72.5. All this information, like, I was hesitant. I know it's my own app. I created everything like that, but I'm still hesitant. Like, hey, maybe we connected the wrong dots, because these numbers are ridiculous and this line is ridiculous. But hey, this is where when you have access to when you're a VIP member, you have access to the premium subscription that PlayerProps.ai has, and you have access to all stats for all sports. This is why. So we can find the crazy outlier bets that shouldn't exist, but somehow we caught the sportsbook sleeping. Because the same thing I said, that I can't track every single player for every single sport, sometimes the sportsbooks are sleeping, and this line, I feel like, is one of those sleeping lines. This is something where It's super early in the season. We're going to find a lot of juicy things because there's so many players and so many teams. Day one of our very first episode of the $100,000 challenge on our YouTube channel, we find a guy at 72.5 with an insane projection from our AI models and 30 carries a game for almost 200 yards in 3 of his last 5 games. Yes. Darius Taylor, oh, easily over 72.5. Now, I know I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. He's going to get like 72 exactly, and you'll be like, oh, easy. Yeah, okay, yes, I know. 72.5 Darius Taylor, and then going back to receiving yards, it was Daniel Jackson, the receiver. So 2 Minnesota players. So we're going to do a Daniel Jackson over 55.5, and then I can't remember his name already. Darius Taylor, Daniel Jackson. Darius Taylor rushing yards, Daniel Jackson receiving yards. Lock it in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited about these plays. These look really, really good. Yeah, I mean, simple as that. If you don't have the app yet, this should have you download it. As you saw, I saw some crazy awesome things that we pulled out because of how our tools are set up. And this is another reason to subscribe for premium, so you have access to all these stats as well, so you can find the sexy outlier bets like that. All right, kids. I'm going to put this up here on YouTube. I'll be headed out to the tailgate in 4-ish hours, so a little bit less than 4 hours. 5 hours. And, yeah, good luck. And I can't wait for college football Saturday. It's going to be nice. See you guys tomorrow.